YouTube, Shub here with a review of 5 of the 11 Mighty Morphin Power Rangers The Loyal Subjects action vinyls. Hopefully you got here from my unboxing video that went up right before this. If you happen to stumble upon this and want to check out the unboxing video, go ahead and click right up here at the annotation to bounce over to the unboxing and then come back after you watch that. If you don't really care about the unboxing and just want to get to the review, stick around and we'll see what is in store. First off, I would like to thank the Loyal Subjects for sending me the 8 figures that I unboxed. Unfortunately, this is what ended up out of the 8. I did get repeats of Rita, Zed, and Goldour, but that is the woes of blind packed figures. Thankfully, I know a lot of people that are buying these, so I feel it'll be pretty easy to trade off the extras and get some more Rangers into our ranks. But for now, I didn't know when that was going to happen, so I wanted to take a look at the 5 that I did pull. So once again, huge thanks to the Loyal Subjects for providing me with those for unboxing and review. I greatly appreciate it, and it was a lot of fun to do. So without further ado, the blind packages come in a box just like this. And they do retail for about $13.99 a piece, depending on where you pick them up. If you want to pick these up at retail, your best bets are probably going to be places like Barnes & Noble or Hot Topic. I know Target started selling some blind package things, as do Walmart, but I don't know if they're going to be getting these or not. It's definitely a product that Barnes & Noble would carry, and I know Hot Topic is sure to jump in on the Power Rangers stuff as well. Overall, the packages are actually really nice. I like the material that Loyal Subjects uses on their blind boxes. It feels nice. It's like a nice matte coating, and it's nice. I like it, but enough about that. The box art is really cool. All of the figures and art is designed by Joe Allard, who does an absolutely incredible job on these. I really like the style that he chose for them, and the box art in general is just really nice. Around all of the sides here, you do have the cast of characters for these. You do have blue, pink, red, and yellow. Billy, Kim, Jason, and Trini, all at a 2:16 ratio. Over here you have Rita, Goldour, Zed, and Green Tommy, all again at a 2:16 ratio. Your rarer ones are on the back here. Zach, the Black Ranger, at 1:24. Tommy as the White Ranger in 1:48. And a secret, hidden, mystery variant figure that's a 1:96 ratio. That is the Red Ranger with the Dragon Shield, if that kind of wasn't obvious by the silhouette already. But unfortunately, I did not get that one, obviously. Now, once you open up each box, you are greeted to this. A nice foily package where all the figures sit inside. On one side, you got the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers X Loyal Subjects action vinyls. Then on the other side, you got a cool design of the Power Morpher. So even if you open the box in store, which is totally not cool at all, I've seen several people do this, and it irks me. Don't do that. You still know what you're going to get because you have the foil packaging as well. So here we are with each of the figures. Let's go ahead and take a look at each of them one by one. Start with Kim and with Tommy. 1, 2, 3, let's go. Alright, so each box comes packed just like this. You have the figure, any of the accessories, and a card. Each card has a kind of nice little vector style drawing of the figure by Joe, as well as the name of the ranger or the character, the number they are in the series, and then the backs all have the same box art design. Now, as you can see here, if you're picky about your conditions of cards, you're going to be in for a ride with these. Just because the way that they're packaged, they're crammed into the bag, and then the bag is crammed into the box. These get really bent out of shape. But as long as you don't have a crease or anything in there, I think you'll be fine just pressing these in a book and flattening them out. But it's nice that they get a little card to go with them. I know Transformers by the Loyal Subjects did the same thing, and I appreciated it then too. So here is the figure, and I actually really like how these are laid out. Articulation wise, you have a full ball and socket joint up here on the neck. Same at the shoulders. You have a double ball and socket joint actually connecting into the shoulders and then into the actual shoulder. I don't know human terms. So you have a full range of motion there. You do have a swivel at the gauntlet cuff glove thing there. Technical terms. Same sort of setup right down here at the thigh with the double ball and socket joint and a swivel at the boot cuff. However, I think there's a ball and socket joint in there as well. So that's actually pretty impressive. So there's no ankle tilts or anything like that, but you can get actually a pretty decent sort of tilt going on with the ball and socket joint at the boot cuff there. And it might actually be the same in the cuff of the glove too, so that's kind of neat. You do have a neat little ab crunch going on that doubles as a waist joint, so you have range of motion there. So you actually get some pretty little articulated figures for the price. So that's pretty neat, I think. You can't get like a running pose or anything like that, given the fact that the legs are kind of static. But the articulation base is pretty nice for a figure of this size. Now each figure comes with X amount of accessories, depending on who you pick up. Each ranger comes with their personal power weapon, or in Tommy's case, the Dragon Dagger or Saba, which technically aren't really power weapons, I guess. But so in Kimberly's case, it's the power bow. Each of the core 5 rangers has the blade blaster, which is done really nice. Kind of follows the toys layout as opposed to the shows. But I love the silver tip on there. It just kind of makes it pop instead of just being flat red all over the place. So the blade blaster is pretty neat, as well as their helmet, obviously. They can't be a ranger without their helmet. But each comes packaged with the civilian head out, which I think is really cool. I love the civilian heads in general. They could have just put the helmet on a head and popped it in, but they actually took it a step further and crafted civilian heads for all of the rangers. And I think that's really neat. In Kim's case, she does have a ponytail. That technically counts as an accessory. So to put the helmet on, you do pop the ponytail out. Otherwise, the helmet will not fit on. Split the helmet in two and just kind of encase it around her noggin. Anyone remember that network? And just pop it back on, which apparently is more difficult than I initially believe it to be. And there we go. So articulation is the same. As you can see, you still see the human head underneath it. So that does ruin a little bit of posing, because if you start looking up, you can see that head. But just don't take photographs from that angle, because that'd be weird anyway. So overall, it's really nice. I like the stylistic choices that they did, but it's still completely accurate to actual Mighty Morphin and Zyuranger designs, so that is really cool. And I really like the way that the helmet system is set up. Each of the weapons can fit securely into the hand, just like so. Now obviously the Blade Blaster does not fit into the holster here whatsoever, but you can have her hold on to the Blade Blaster as well. So just like that, you can ever dual wield both weapons. Obviously there's no storage for a ponytail, so you're going to have to go ahead and set that aside. Next up is Rita, which is actually a pretty interesting figure, since we really only got the Rita that was in the Samurai line. And we haven't really got too much from Rita besides that. You do have Rita herself, the staff to make her monster grow, and Rita, the card. She's very angry and or constipated. Either or. Maybe she's angry because she's constipated. That could be a thing. But you got the card going on here. And she does not have a leg articulation because she does not have legs. She's got little wheels on the bottom. So you can wheel Rita around instead of making her walk or anything, because she's got a dress. She doesn't need legs. So they gave her wheels. I kind of actually really dig that. I don't know why. It just makes me think of actual Rita having wheels, and she just kind of wheeled around. Now, obviously, there's no elbow articulation in any of these figures, but there's no real rotation at the actual cuff area. Instead, it is right where the wrist is, so you do get a range of motion down there at the wrist, but obviously nothing down here. You do get a slight ab crunch on Rita, but not quite. You do get a waist swivel, though, for her. And same ball and socket joint right up here. But really nice head sculpt design on her skull cap. I don't know what her head thing. I don't know what to call it. So you got that, and then the staff can just fit right into her hand. Be a little bit careful of the staff because it is quite a bit thin. Plastic, I don't know exactly how bad it would get. But just have her grip the staff just like that, and you got little Rita. Next up is Zed, and right off the bat, I do want to point out that this will happen. The second Zed I got actually has it like almost all the way like that. Now, yeah, it's supposed to be straight, but given how these are packaged, things are going to get bent out of shape when they're as thin and pliable as this. So you're probably going to need to boil up some water and straighten that out. This one's not too bad. I'm not really going to worry about it. But if you get one that's like my other one, you're definitely going to need to boil up some water and try to straighten that out. But other than that, I really like how Zed turned out. The body's got the nice red color. A black wash always does Zed justice to me. I don't know why. It just really makes Zed pop. But even without that, it's a nice looking figure. The silver is a nice metallic color. It's not flat at all. His head sculpt's really neat. You got some good old brains up there to kind of wrap up Zed's whole motif. Now, he also does not have articulation at the cuff, instead at the wrist, just like Rita. But other than that, it is basically the same as the Rangers, except there's no boot cuff, so you get it down at the ankles directly. But base articulation on him is the exact same as the Rangers. So Zed's a really nice figure. I love how Zed turned out quite a bit. He looks really good. I will say that he looks really good. I just kind of gave up and gave it to his other hand instead, because that one was a little bit more open. But like I said, Zed is a great little figure, and here is his card, number 7. And next up, we got the mighty Goldour. Kerrigan Mahan, the voice of Goldour, is an amazing, amazing person. And he's made me grow quite fond of Goldour over the past couple years. And I've always dug Goldour. So I'm really glad I did get him. So much I ended up getting 2 of him, but that's not the point. But Goldour is pretty great. And despite the way he's designed, his head is huge. I mean, here's his head compared to Zed's head. So you can just kind of get the feel of how big Goldour's head is. Despite that, he actually stands quite well. His wings back here are just kind of attached to his body, just like Zed's helmet thingy. His head crest, we'll go with that. These are pliable and come in varying degrees of bent in the packages. This one's pretty even, but you be a little bit careful of that. I can see that breaking in time. Articulation on him is the same as the other villains. You get a rotation there at the ball and socket joint at the wrist. And then, like the Rangers, he gets his leg articulation at his shin, his knee area. It's more rotation. You can't get a whole lot of side-to-side movement for Goldour just because his armor is kind of bulky. His arm articulation's alright. You kind of want to get it in a position where it doesn't look goofy. Mine came out of the package kind of like this, and it looked really stupid. But just kind of move his arms around until you get him in a pretty good position. So articulation is not the best with Goldour, especially because his head is so big. His head actually does not move. It's a ball and socket joint, I believe, but his armor is so bulky he can't really move his head all that much. But he looks pretty cool, and he holds his little sword very well. And like I said, despite the fact that his head is so big, he actually stands quite well. So I'm quite impressed with that. And then here is his card. Looking pretty cool. And then finally we got Tommy, which the White Ranger, which is really cool. He's got a ratio of 1:48, which is not easy to get. Boxes of these come in boxes of 16 at the store. So even if you bought an entire box of these, the chances of you completing all 11 off of one box is quite slim. So keep that in mind when you're buying these. Even if you bought a box, you're still not guaranteed a set. But I'm really glad I did pull Tommy. I'm a huge fan of Tommy as a White Ranger. I really like Keeper Ranger and Die Ranger as well, so I'm a huge fan of the suit in general. So I'm really glad I got him. Head sculpt-wise is the same one that will be on the Green Ranger if I ever get him. But he's got a little ponytail back here, so be sure to pop that out to put the helmet on. And the Green Ranger's one will have a green tip, just in case you want to just shove everything in one bag or anything. You do know which ponytail belongs to which version of Tommy. But articulation is the same as Kim's. It's all the base body pretty much. So take apart his helmet. And then drop it, because I am uncoordinated. And then snap that on his head. Make sure it sticks. And then you have the White Ranger, who of course includes Saba, which is painted pretty nice. It's no figure art or anything, but it is painted pretty nice. You might notice he's missing a thing. Just looking at it, I thought it broke off, but that is a clean cut right there. So that is just designed like that. I don't know why they chose to design it like that. That's a little bit of a bummer. I didn't realize that until right now, actually. He can hold Saba, no problem, right in his hand. And he's probably my favorite of the bunch. If I got the Red Ranger with the dragon armor, that one probably would have won out. Not even because of rarity, but just because I really like that design. But Keeper Ranger is a favorite of mine, so I have a soft spot for the White Ranger. That's really when MMPR started getting really good for me as a kid, and where it gets good now. So I've got a bit of a soft spot for this one. So overall, the recommendation for these is really hit and miss. I love the figures themselves. They're pretty great quality. They make a great desk toy for sure. The Rangers got pretty decent articulation for what they are, and I really love the style. It's a nice mix between accurate and chibi at the same time, and I kind of dig that. But at $13.99, it's really hard to convince you to get a full set of these. If you're kind of out and about and you want to casually pick one up, $13.99 is a really difficult price point to hit that sort of impulse buy sort of thing. With that in mind, it's really hard to give a full recommendation, but if you pick one up and you get a good character, I don't think you'll be disappointed with these. They're pretty great quality. They come with a pretty decent amount of accessories when their character is allowed to, and they're just really fun. I definitely really like them. So while the price is definitely a hard bargain, the quality you get is great, and I can definitely recommend them in that regard. So just kind of keep that in mind, that getting a full set of these will cost a lot of money and be a lot of trouble, but I really do dig them quite a bit. So thanks for watching, take care, and have a great one. Bye.